is really weird that we're doing a story at the same time, but...
We are doing the story at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you go watch
creepy.
Boss Dietitian and Dietitian Life at the exact same time, I just got done.
Had me for some snacks.
And that they need to be patient, that we'll be working with, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So trying to get one of these ones on the way into Wagga on the Monday would be the only thing.
Yeah.
And then even if it's Monday night, if we had a dinner with someone, that's fine. I would probably be better on DL.
Yep.
And then on for Fuel Your Life, it could be, which of these do you think your dietitian would tell you to eat more of? Oh, cross-checker here, Mars. When you're like attention to detailing as well, like with everyone, just make sure that it actually makes sense.
Read all of the chemistry and biochemistry, metabolic textbooks that you can. Really prepare yourself for that. Prepare yourself not to really learn much about being a dietitian, so as long as you can get your head across that, that's fine. And then I would start following people in dietetics. Really, you should be doing that from the outset, and start making connections with people as best you can, early as you can. Well, look, I'm really sorry that that's the way that you've felt. I hear you. I guess everybody has their own little way, and certainly she has a lot of clients that she works very well with. Is there anything that we can do? I mean, we certainly have 2 other dietitians that work for Fuel Your Life in Canberra.
I think we just get so involved within our clients that we are just unable to kind of stand out and look at the big picture, or then we think that there's so many things going on when then we can't focus on really small things to be able to give them really specific pieces of advice. So we're either getting really overwhelmed by the complexities of the client that we think that there's no way that we can get them to make any change, or there's so much going on that nutrition becomes really irrelevant, which is not true. So it's just trying to focus on the things that you actually can modify and change, removing your bias from the situation and trying to be really autonomous in that viewpoint, because it's really important that you're the client's advocate. You're not just the person feeling really bad for them all the time. You're actually helping them to get somewhere. It may not be something that you can completely change, but being there and advocating for their health is really important. And then outside of that, as I said, if you've got a client that's got lots of complexities, just like step it out, make it really specific, give them really small changes, and then you can be thinking big overarching goal, like am I actually working towards that? And as long as you know that, then you can give them as really small incremental steps, and focusing on that makes it a little bit clearer and easier for you to do your job. So like even if you extended it out, maybe it was the top 5 top cereals for fibre, the 5 best cereals for like the 5 lowest GI cereals, or maybe like that. You could just expand it out so it could be more geared towards fibre, GI and sugar content even, maybe just 3, because he's obviously identified it as being an issue. But yeah, just from a timing and in terms of going back and having that conversation, like maybe that conversation was had early when you guys didn't have as good a relationship. Like doesn't mean you can never have that conversation again. He's like, well, if I can't have it in that size, I don't want it at all. Like maybe it's just, okay, we'll keep going at it. You know, if you really think something's important or it's probably going to change something, then I would harp on it. If it's not worth it, then you definitely just leave it. But it doesn't mean you can't come back to it, to a concept. And I'd be hammering home the importance of having to removing the night snacks on the reg. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's better or not. I would just say, look, generally though, with anyone with that level of dysfunction and all of that medication, the liver just needs quiet time, and it needs to be not eating. And trying to explain it in a simple way to him, particularly around all of those antipsychotics, the metformin, paralytic reflux and all those types of things that obviously are going to be worsened by the nighttime eating. So maybe he has a little bit later dinner. She could have been the model, or could have been an